Hi, Gage here again. Part two. I was going to talk about some things about Noah. If you guys are interested, and flipped over this one to see what's going on. This might be a little longer, might be a little shorter. I'm not sure. But I wanted to give a hidden Bible gem, an absolute gem. And this is 1 Chronicles 1 through 4. The first name in 4, which is Noah, and that's the candle we're on tonight. So tonight I'm going to be talking about Noah a little bit, and but before I talk about that, 1 Chronicles 1 is genealogy, and it goes Adam, Seth, Enosh, Kenan, Mahalalel, Jared, Enoch, Methuselah, Lamech, and Noah. Now, these are the names of Adam to Noah. It's pretty cool. What's the reason for them? Well, it's beautiful. This is amazing. This is in the Torah. This is in the Old Testament. Adam, it might not be in the Torah, I'm sorry. It might be in the Tanakh. The names mean things in Hebrew. So we've got Adam, which means man. Seth is appointed. Enosh is mortal. Kenan is sorrow. Methuselah is the anointed one of God. Jared is comes down. Enoch is teaching. Methuselah is his death brings. Lamech is the despairing. And lastly is Noah, peace and comfort. So we take those and we put it in a sentence. The meanings of the names in order. Nothing's changed. And God's got a message for us. Elohim has a message for us. Man, appointed mortal sorrow. Period. The anointed one of God comes down, teaching his death brings the despairing peace and comfort. It's a pointing to, for us, for me as a believer, to Yeshua. Because his death brought us peace and comfort. So I thought that was really a cool little study there. And that's 1 Chronicles 1 through first letter, first word name in verse 4. But we're going to get into another interesting study about Noah real quick. And going to Genesis chapter 8. This might be something very few people have heard before. I'm not sure. I did not get this off a YouTube video or off the internet or anything. When I enter into the Word to study, I ask the Ruach HaKodesh, that's the Holy Spirit, to guide me and teach me. And
what was that? The Ruach what?
The Ruach HaKodesh.
Okay.
It's Hebrew for the Ruach is spirit. Capital R is the Spirit, Elohim Spirit. Ha is the, and then Kodesh means dedicated one. And if anybody wants any more information like that, it's very interesting. Check out Alan Horvath on YouTube. He breaks it down pretty good in the Hebrew Aramaic, and he's a good guy. So anyway, here we are in chapter 8 of Genesis. This is the I can't even remember how to pronounce that in Hebrew, but we are in 7 on verse 7. Now this is an interesting thing I'm going for here, and it's gonna hopefully stir some passions to study this. And he sent forth a raven, and that was Noah. He sent forth a raven. He's in the ark. He opened up the window, okay, and he sent forth a raven, and the raven went to and fro until all the waters were dried up from the earth. Now, in this understanding, in this metaphor, the raven represents Satan. The raven is kicked out of the heaven, kicked out of the arks by the righteous one, by the Father. He opened up the window of heaven, sent the raven out. And the raven went to and fro. And that's what Satan does today on the world. He goes to and fro, just plucking off the dead. And then he sent forth a dove from him to see if the waters were abated from off the ground. But the dove found no rest. Now the dove is a representation of Yeshua Mashiach. When he first came, he found no rest. He was crucified on a tree. And And she found no rest for the sole of her foot, and she returned unto him, Noah representing God, and for the waters were on the face, and he put forth his hand, and he took her back into the ark. Now I've had people say, well, it's her, Yeshua's not a her, Jesus isn't a her. I'm like, he's a spirit, they don't have gender. While he was here on this earth, he had a gender, but in the spiritual realm, it's not a gender. And he stayed another 7 days, and again he sent forth the dove out of the ark. And the dove came to him in the evening, and lo, in her mouth was an olive leaf, plucked. And Noah knew that the waters were abated from off the earth. So that is a really interesting thing. What we're looking at there is the dove, Yeshua, comes back with an olive branch plucked off in its mouth. I mean, plucked is a very powerful word here. It means taken violently, ripped up. And it comes back to Noah. And that is a story of a rapture. That is a metaphor for a rapture with Israel. And being a believer and understanding the story of Ruth and Boaz and being grafted into the tree, a believer in Yeshua Mashiach is grafted into Israel. And that's where I think it's important to study and to learn and appreciate and enjoy these kinds of holidays, because they're fulfilling and they bring blessings, and it's an amazing understanding. So Noah knew that the waters were abated from off the earth. Okay, so then he stayed another 7 days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 years, represents 7 years, and sent forth the dove, which did not return again to him anymore. And why is that? Because after the rapture, there's going to be a 7-year tribulation. And then Yeshua is going to come back, the dove's going to come back, and he's going to stay for the millennial reign. So he doesn't come back to the ark. The ark represents heaven. Noah represents Elohim in this scenario. So that was a really cool Bible study. I hope that it provokes you to get into the Word and read it and try to understand it. But the number one thing is ask the Father to guide you. And if we ask Him to guide us, He will give us all knowledge. So I'll do another video, and if you guys like this one, keep on clicking, and we'll talk some more about some other stuff.